So I just had a take blow up on me. I'm like 2 minutes in and OBS crashes. So I reboot my computer. But something interesting actually just happened while I was waiting for it. I, the thought occurred to me, right? I've been using the SPL Pre One on a bunch of voiceover jobs ever since I got it. I mean, I think this thing sounds amazing, right? And especially like this cheat of dropping it into Contour like that and getting that extra low end presence. It just occurred to me, right? It's like an Instagram filter for your voice. And even more so, why doesn't this appeal to non-voice pros as well? Let's talk about this. Stick around.
From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
All right, so I have it switched back into neutral. And again, let me drop it into Contour. And I mean, you can definitely feel that, right? And I'm thinking, right, anybody, even if you've had no previous audio production experience or knowledge at all, you could use this to make your voice sound more confident, more pro. Now, why is that important? Okay, for non-voice pros and pros alike. So just about like a week or so ago, I came across an article in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that said that the human brain reacts to a human voice, and very quickly, right? So within under a second. Here, let me take this out, right? So back into neutral, right? So the human brain perceives confidence from the speaker in under a second, under 1 second, right? That is just blows my mind. So categorizing a voice as confident happens so quickly that you have to make that first impression, right? So, and as a surprise to no one, here, let me drop this down in here. Sound more confident. As a surprise to absolutely no one, right? Studies show that confident voices, they significantly increase trust, they hold attention, and they're more memorable, right? So it's about a connection. Confident, polished voices create stronger connections and hold your attention longer and leave a lasting impression. It's almost like a form of hypnosis. It's almost like a form of mind control. Here, let me drop this out again, right? So, I mean, listen to that. And then listen to how much more confident I sound, right? So, again, I always say dress your voice for success. So again, right? And then there's Flair, right? That adds that energy, that really nice, energetic tone, and then back into neutral, and then down here. I mean, listen, it's subtle, but I mean, I think it's really impactful. So let me ask you non-voice pros out there. I mean, look, I'm always talking to my voice pros out there, my voiceover knuckleheads. You know who you are. But for my non-voice pros, here, let's go back to neutral. For my non-voice pros, right? What if there was a pro hack that can elevate how your voice sounds without anyone knowing the magic behind the curtain? It would be an unfair advantage, right? A secret weapon. So how cool is that? So I want you to consider for one moment that with the SPL Pre One, you can instantly boost this vocal presence, right? Boom, like that, right? Without any technical expertise, because that's really the biggest issue. As I'm sitting here dealing with OBS, which, causes me headaches from time to time. Right? The technology can be frustrating, but what if you can flip a switch, right? So, I mean, what I love about it is it can make your voice sound more polished. Here, let's go up in a Flair, right? I mean, listen to that, right? And then go back into Contour. It can make your voice sound more polished, more pro. And so think about it for your podcasting, for streaming. What about for work calls, right? I mean, it's perfect for that. So there's no steep learning curve. You just plug it in, flip a switch, and hear the difference. It's not just for pros. It's not just for pros. It's for anyone who wants to stand out a little bit more vocally without needing advanced audio knowledge. I mean, it's all about results because results matter ultimately, and nobody needs to know how the sausage gets made. Look, you want to make your voice a little more commanding. Contour, here, drop it into Contour. Contour is your new best friend. It's full. It makes your voice sound larger than life without muddying the mix. And that is the key. It doesn't muddy the mix. You're not boosting an EQ. It's adding harmonics, which helps bring it forward, which means you don't need so much EQ to boost it. You don't get phase smear. You're not getting anything weird in there. I mean, it's just making it. I feel like when I do this, right? When I take it out, right? Listen to that when I take it out. And then when I put it back in, I feel like it adds a psychological level that I feel makes the voice sound more trustworthy and authoritative by simply emphasizing the fundamental frequencies that give your voice power and warmth. I mean, contour is amazing. I really don't know how it works. I don't know the magic, but it offers it's a sophisticated and versatile solution because instead, you're not EQing and filtering frequencies. You're getting this nuanced harmonic enhancement and tonal shaping. So it makes your voice sound a little fuller, more richer, and definitely more authoritative and commanding without overloading that low end. I mean, and this is the thing this is what I love about it for work. Here, I'm going to take it out again. Right? It feels like a vacuum in the room when I take it out. This is what I love about it. Because instead of me futzing around trying to find the right frequency and constantly guessing, and that's the thing with the variable controls is you're always like, I'm going to use here and then maybe a little bit more. You don't have to guess the right frequency to target. It's plug and play. You just go, hey, I want a little bit more low end. There you go. I just want a little bit more commanding presence. It's tailored for instant results and instant gratification that integrates seamlessly into your performance. So it's Contour. I mean, how great is that? And if that wasn't cool enough, if that wasn't enough, let's bring some brightness into the conversation with Flair. All right? I mean, Flair, right? When I go into Flair, right? So here's Flair, here's Contour, right? So I'm down here with Contour. A lot of this great low-end energy, right? But it's not overbearing. And then when I go up into Flair, right, you're getting this bright and engaging tone. So it's adding, I feel like it adds clarity and brightness. And it makes it more dynamic by enhancing these high and high mid harmonics that are just bringing this energy and articulation to the tone. Because I think Flair just makes your voice pop. I think it'll make your voice pop in any mix or any environment. And, unlike just boosting EQ, which could induce, a fair amount of harshness, Flair achieves this, a refined enhancement. So whether you want to add this youthful energy sparkle or just help every word cut through a mix with precision, or not even a mix, just cut through in general with precision. Flair's like it's like adding a spotlight to your performance. And like Contour, again, let's drop it down to Contour. Like Contour, it's subtle, but I think it's transformative, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's extremely transformative because it can elevate any voice to its most captivating potential, right? Not just voice pros, but any voice. So look, I love simple and effective solutions to complex problems. Here, I'm going to go back into neutral again. And I feel like with Contour and Flair, the SPL Pre One, this thing, there's no post-production tweaks needed, just instant enhancement, right? It's not a voice changer. It's not a gimmick. Here, let me drop it down here. As I say, it's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. It's not a floor wax or a dessert topping. And your results may vary. Let's just say that. But the SPL Pre One, it's a professional grade preamp that combines these beautifully transparent sounding preamps, right? The bass preamps, the neutral preamp. I mean, listen to that. That just sounds great, right? And very analog. But you're adding these two very professional sounding presets that have the power to make your voice recordings sound more like a pro. I mean, come on. Look, come on. You drop it into Contour. Let's be honest, you're not going to become a movie trailer guy overnight, all right? It's not a magic wand that will turn you from a frog into a prince, but, quite honestly, it could. It certainly might make you a more interesting prince that has a much better chance of getting kissed by that princess. So every voice is different. And Flair, I dig them. I dig both these things. Every voice is different. And your use case may be different from mine or someone else's. But even if you're not involved in pro audio, but you're someone who uses your voice to communicate, or present, or produce content, and whether that is here, let's drop it down here. Whether it's for public consumption, business, private communications, or hey, even sounding a little bit more like the person you want to be on your work Zoom calls. The SPL Pre One, I think, could be a secret weapon. I really do. And look, this is not just lip service. I'm using the SPL Pre One on VO work every day. It's great. Look, and if that's not enough, you get a pair of preamps. Here, let me see if I can turn the camera a little bit. You get a pair of them. Look at that. You get two of them. How cool is that, right? Oh, it's all crooked. You get a pair of them in one unit. So even if you're podcasting with a partner, recording in stereo, or if you just want to spare, it's included. So again, here, if I can't fix that, I know some of you are like, hey, fix that. So again, who do you want to be, right? Let's take this out again. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be this guy, or do you want to be this guy? Or do you want to be this guy, right? So, but let the SPL Pre One help you get there. I mean, what do you think? Could the SPL Pre One be your secret weapon? Let me know in the comments, all right? Until next time, this is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.